Welcome to Astrology for Healing. This is Ev Zerverdakis, and I'm here to talk about Pluto. Pluto is near and dear to me because I'm a Scorpio rising, and my sun is in the 8th house, and the ruling planet of the 8th house is Pluto. So today, I'm going to review the meaning of Pluto, and then we're going to talk about Pluto being retrograde. Pluto's going to go retrograde this month on the 25th of April, and it will stay retrograde until October 4th. So a retrograde is when you're moving forward and then it's a pause, it slows down, it pauses, and then it goes rewinding back, hitting all the different aspects that it did coming forward, and then it will slow down, stop, and then move forward again. So we're going to get a repeat of the energies. Like we didn't have enough. It's a very interesting time right now. I'm not going to talk about what's going on out there, but what we may want to look at is how the energy of Pluto is reflecting to you. And what you need to do is look at Capricorn in your chart between the degrees of 22 and 25 degrees, 22 to 25, 26 degrees of Capricorn, and it will affect Cancer in those degrees, and also Libra and Aries. Okay, you people will feel it a lot more. So if your sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus are in any one of those 22 to 26 degrees, then you're going to feel it really powerfully. So because Pluto is a very slow moving planet, it's staying in the sign of Capricorn for a long time, many years. So Pluto, what does Pluto represent? I'm going to take a look at some of my notes because there's so many key words. And the reason why there's so many key words, because as a youngster, Pluto might be just a change of going from one grade to another, like in elementary school. That's a death and a birth, a death and a birth. So as we evolve as adults and older in years, every year is a new year. So, the meaning and the energy of Pluto changes a little bit. And it depends on other aspects in your chart as to how intense it will be. So some of the key words are energy. It's a great revealer. It's also the most unpredictable planet. And we think about the physical birth of a child. When the baby is developing inside of the womb or the uterus, what's happening is they're in the dark. We're not seeing that part of the baby. So even though it's alive, it's hidden. So the physical birth is when it actually comes out, but it's still growing inside. So Pluto represents that transformational period when the baby is in one state and then it's born into the outside world. It's two different worlds, but it's the same baby. It's the same person. So also it means the unknown world. It means hell. It means death. It means a plague, the dark things that you can't see, like the boogeyman and fear and all that, core truths. It's a creation and destruction. So like the baby, it's creating, and then they cut the cord, and that's the end. The placenta is destroyed. It's gone. And then the new being is here to live. It's also about secrets, many secrets. The Pluto has to do with like either detective work or secret stuff, deception and things like that, but more secrets. It's also the shadow side of everything, the dark side, because there's always two sides to look at stuff. But Pluto is more on the dark aspect of the energy. It's a very intense, very, very intense. It also has to do with ordeals, crises. I mean, just look around. You could feel that we're in the Pluto in Capricorn. The Capricorn has to do with business and government and authority. So I'll talk a little bit more about that probably in another video, because I don't want to go too long. It's better if we shoot for 10 to 15 minutes. It's also struggles between people, governments or countries. So it's when others are controlling the people. So that kind of energy. It's also the money that's being controlled by other people, your money being controlled by other people. So that's when you're brought to your knees, you feel powerlessness, and it's upheaval. So Pluto right now is in a earth sign, and it's a cardinal sign. Earth, think of a rock, a big mountain, that's earth. Cardinal is the initiative, the strong point. And I always look at it like you get a piece of marble, and to change a piece of marble into a statue, what do you have to do? You chisel it, chip away at it until you get the formation, a transformation from a block of marble to a beautiful statue. But it takes a lot of work to get that piece of hard rock off of the marble. It's not like a fire. Fire, you just light a match, boop, and it lights up, and it's gone. It burns it, it's destroyed. But because we're working with an earth sign, Capricorn, it's slow, it's very methodical, chip away, and it's more painful because it's a long, drawn out affair, and it's not like water. A water sign be like a big, tidal wave would come in and take everything out. Think of a tsunami, something like that. But with the earth sign being involved with Capricorn and Pluto, it has that real heavy, heavy, heavy feeling. So it's also to the new life. We have to look at not just the negative side of Pluto, but, when you're born, the baby's super cute. Now it's a lighter energy. You've gone through the childbirth, and all the pain and suffering is over. Now you have a baby that you can enjoy, and it lightens up a whole lot. Other words that are associated with Pluto is catastrophes, disasters, earthquakes, fear of death. It's also, Pluto is what they call exalted in Capricorn, which means it's stronger. So it's even more intense, like it's not intense enough. It's also clairvoyance. We may be getting more intuitive dreams, or just more intuitive in general. So go with your intuition if you start feeling that you're getting messages from the other side. That's very important. It's also the atomic bomb. Think of what happened. A bomb, there's people living, and all of a sudden a bomb comes, total death, and then they had to restart, all brand new, restart. And there was a lot of death involved. It also rules ghosts, shadows, and the unseen side of life. So it's also the healing forces of the body. So with all this transformation, there will be a healing that will go on, like a spiritual healing, but a very deep healing. And if you don't get it this time around, it'll come when it goes direct. You're going to feel again the power of Pluto. So when Pluto goes retrograde, what that means is now I just told you about all the energies of Pluto, but what happens is when it's retrograde, It's a time to review the concept of death, review what it means to have intense pain, to reflect on it, to rewind, and then rethink, go inward and see, how did that affect me? What would I do different from this experience? How have I grown from this? Because listen, you could either play the victim or be the survivor. And my goal is to help you all become survivors of this corona or whatever thing that comes our way that will give us a 1-2 punch. So it's time to revisit old plans. It's time to purge, get rid of old things that don't serve us. It's a brand new beginning. So, it's the way we look at things. We could either look at something as a horrible mess, or we could look at it as, well, we're in it together. We could figure out a way to get through this. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pretty. That's not the energy here. But it is a very, very chaotic time. So on June 30th, we're going to have Saturn, which is the planet of restriction, is going to come and touch Pluto. And we're going to talk about that later, but just write that date down. So we're going to get a little bit more of that same kind of energy because we have 3 big planets, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, are all pausing and rewinding and then going forward. So, and those planets are slow moving as it is. It's not going to be a picnic. So this is going to separate the men from the boys and the wimps from the strong people. And it's going to be very interesting. The next video I do is going to talk more about death, the concept of death, because there's so much Pluto here. We need to understand what's going on with death. Why is death being pushed in our face? I don't think I ever remembered a time when we were just so immersed in the subject of death. I mean, that is not a comfortable subject. So the next video will be about death and how that relates to you. I thank you again. And if I didn't see any chats today, so send the questions in like you usually do, and I'll be making one in the next probably hour. You have a good day. Stay safe. Thank you again.